losing 8 games for the season. It was a hard-fought game. It was a situation and scenario that the Dallas Cowboys shot themselves in the foot once again. I'm going to say this till I'm Cowboys blue in the face. We saw some of the issues in this game, believe it or not, that we've seen previously throughout the years of Mike McCarthy. An undisciplined team find ways to lose games. And this is a very much so undisciplined team. But Cowboys versus Bengals, Monday Night Football post-game analysis brought to you by Law Nation Sports, presented to you by Frenkel and Frenkel Law Firm as well. Come on with it. We tried our best, baby, but our best wasn't good enough, as they say over here. I hate losing. I absolutely hate to lose. And the Cowboys are on the losing end of this situation. It wasn't like this game wasn't reachable. But I'm gonna say this though. When you have pitfalls and shortcomings like this, and you undermanned and you're undersized and so many things, we find ways to lose games. It literally was 3 or 4 games this season that we just didn't pull it out the way we supposed to. Let me tell y'all something, man. The Dallas Cowboys had Cooper Rush 16 for 31 attempts, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, 3 sacks. He was sacked 3 times, 77 passer rating. But what I want to give a round of applause to is a guy that really nobody thought that this dude would be averaging these type of numbers. And that's Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle, literally, he was averaging 7.5 yards per run almost. You had another guy by the name of Cavante Turpin that was averaging 7.5. Let me ask y'all this. What's 7.5 times 2? What's 7.5 times 2? Because y'all need to put that down in the chat for me. Or what's 7.5 plus 2? You know, or whatever that number may be. Those are the numbers that this particular team could have done, opposed to being throwing happy on that other series when we had about 5 minutes and some change left on the clock. It's 15 yards. 15 yards. And you don't do that, Mike McCarthy. You don't do that. Granted, we still had injuries in this game. Overshawn is out. He had to take out for the rest of the game with a knee situation. I think that Zim, he did a disservice to this team on defense. He had the guys playing in Frisco. They had to come through Grand Prairie to get down to Arlington, right? They had to go through some traveling ways just to make the tackle. Like, what's the whole point of playing these boys so far off that, man, it looked like I'm in this room. I was telling Diggs, get back on defense, dog. Diggs, get back on defense, man. You right beside me, you know? Like, that was just crazy. So at the end of the day, the craziest way, we are literally, there will be teams laughing. There will be analysts laughing at us. There will be literally folks keying and laughing at the misery of the Dallas Cowboys for this simple strength right here. They will be laughing at us because we're the only team that this didn't happen to twice. This happened to it twice before. We block the damn kick. The ball goes forward. We touch the ball and we don't recover the ball. We the only team in the last 30 to 40 years to do that. And we did it twice under the Mike McCarthy administration, I believe. We the only team that can get a chance to block the kick. The ball goes forward. And the ball goes straight to number 27's hands, or Warrior. It goes right to his hands. He get paid millions of dollars off the practice squad. And he don't know what to do with it. He tried to dribble it and say, look at my moves, mama. Poogie, Ray, look, I can dribble the ball. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? The only team that don't understand situational awareness. Parsons playing his ass off, you know. It just, Leon Lett 2.0. Like, what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys? We the only team that this stuff happened to. Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, where do we do this at, man? Like, what more do you want from us fans?
Interesting. The roof open. It's about 50 degrees right now. The roof open on this clear and cool night, though. Cowboys wasting no time getting on the scoreboard. Cooper Rush hit CD Lamb, capping off their opening drive, and it was 7-zip Cowboys on top. Bengals led 17-10 at the half, but the Cowboys fight back. Cooper Rush to Brandon Cooks. That ties it up at 17. And as I mentioned, this one stays tight throughout. Then here's the play of this game. The Cowboys partially blocked the punt. Nick Vigil gets a piece, but then the crucial mistake. The special teamer touches it, and the Bengals recover for the first down, shades of Leon Lett. Then after that, it's Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase. Their second TD hookup of the game is the decisive blow. 27-20, the Bengals get the win tonight at AT&T Stadium. Joe Burrow throws for 3 touchdown passes, 2 of those to Jamar Chase, as I alluded to. One other thing that Cowboy fans want to find out more about, and that's the health of linebacker DeMarvion Overshown. He's had a breakout year this year. He left this game in the second half. We will do everything we can to try and get the latest on that injury. It did not look good. We'll have that for you coming up later in sports. Chris, back to you.
All right. Yeah, Joe, a lot of us winced watching that replay in real time. Thank you so much. You know, the Cowboys used tonight's game to highlight some causes that matter. Dak Prescott didn't play, but he was...
Yeah. But, man, we the only team that this stuff happened to, man. I can't make this dog water stuff up, man. We blocked the kick and go forward. And the damn rascal, he scoops it up. He trying to scoop it up. What are you trying to do, Aurier? What you trying to do? You trying to be the GOAT? You trying to be the GOAT? Dog, man, you naysayer, man. Come on, man. That naysayer, all he had to do is let that ball, don't touch the ball. We know this stuff, man. Grade school. Man, he should be playing somewhere at Pelican Bay shoe program. Come on, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Man, why Dak have to jump onto the punt? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what Dak did. Reed. But it's crazy. Thank you for your support, though. Yeah. Yeah, man, boy, this is crazy, man. To squander this type of situation, and it's not just that. I think that this team just do idiotic stuff. Can you imagine? Close your eyes, and can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, a running back averaging 7.5 yards per run, and you don't give it to him when you're trying to bleed out the clock, so that you can get on your side so you can kick the field goal to possibly win the game. Can you imagine that? You know, can y'all imagine having a running back? Man, people used to pray for stuff like that. Man, I wish I could have a running back that averaged 7.5, dog. That's a lot of yards, man, for you not to go to that That's crazy, Mike McCarthy. That's idiotic, Mike McCarthy. That's foolery, man. And literally, you know, it is what it is, man. At this point,
Nobody coming to see you, Otis.
this is what they doing to us. They laughing at us, man. We are the laughing stock of the National Football League. Ain't no way that you learned this in grade school. You learn this in first thing. Look, you have historical references that you see Leon Lett. They don't make it. They might as well substitute Leon Lett out of it now and just put that brother on there. You know what I'm saying? A Warrior. God, dog, a Warrior. Mike McCarthy's foosball. Yeah. It's just that we keep losing the same or similar way. Undisciplined team. Just very undisciplined. Very so undisciplined. And I can't make this stuff up. I'm trying to figure out ways.
Embarrassingly about they shared half sacks there. Rico the ensuing drive for the Cowboys. They get it first and 10 at their own 20. Rico Dowdle up the middle for 14 yards with 6.5 to play. First and 10 at the 34. Cooper Rush incomplete to Ferguson. Second and 10 at the Dallas 34. Cooper Rush incomplete to Cooks. Third and 10 at the Dallas 34. Cooper Rush incomplete to Turpin. So not only there are you getting nothing after you ran for 14 yards, you then throw the ball 3 straight times. Yeah. But you're also stopping the clock. So now there's 5:41 left to go in the game.
There you go.
Get it right back to Cincinnati. And what does your defense do? They get another stop. Maris Leofeld gets another sack. And then you have the unfortunate moment of the blocked punt. Yeah. And then AO ends up touching it. It sets up 40 yards. Jamar Chase. You still had over a minute left.
And 3 timeouts.
And 3 timeouts. Yeah. Plenty of time. That was gross. They get 15 yards. First and 10 from CD. You're thinking, okay, they're at the 45-yard line. Then Cooper Rush scrambles, gets out of sack, gets 3 yards. Yeah. They're getting up to the line. They're looking around. They're milking clock. 10 seconds comes off the clock. Sack. Boom. That's all she wrote. You knew
Murder, she wrote.
But it's just amazing.
Murder, she wrote.
Get a 13-yard pop from Rico Dowdle. He's averaging 7.3 yards a carry.
Come on.
You're gashing them with the running game. Then you want to come back out and run it and pass 3 more times with a quarterback that, for whatever reason, is scared and immune from throwing the football more than 5 yards down the field. It's maddening sometimes watching them play offense. And you're absolutely right. Because even with 3 backup offensive linemen,
I am worn out.
Yeah, appreciate your support, J Blue. Yeah. You right on the money with this. I'm worn out with Mike McCarthy. Man, it's just find ways. Mike and Jason Garrett just find ways.
Thinking, but it's not an excuse. You've got to do better. That defense
did
everything they could in that fourth quarter to give you a chance, and unfortunately you failed on that side of the football. And then the way that things turned out with the punt, I mean, how many times have we been looking? I mean, there's been good moments, okay? There's been good moments under Bones Fossil, and there's probably been more blocks and field goals in his regime than I can remember. But there's also just been some brain-dead penalties, and this was situational football.
Yeah.
I understand it's a guy that hasn't played in a while, but what the hell are you doing? The ball was right by the Cowboys sideline, Brian. How is everybody not yelling, Peter, get away, don't touch it. And he touches it. He touches it, Brian.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to me, oh, boy, it's unfortunate. That part of it is unfortunate. But I think you completely nailed everything up to it.
Undisciplined team.
This offense did not do enough. They did not punish
Rico
a Cincinnati defense that has been struggling all year. They didn't do it. They let Cincinnati off the hook. You know, and again, that's on that.
Let him off the hook.
Take the podium today. That's on him. You know, he's got to find a way to generate offense. And unfortunately, they didn't do it enough today. They suffered, and now all the talk about bringing Mike McCarthy back and this, that, and the other, and everybody loves Mike McCarthy. Look at this offense. If you want to bring Mike McCarthy back, you better say, well, you can come back with a coordinator.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you want to go through this again. And I know it's Cooper Rush playing quarterback, you know what? But you've got to find ways to generate offense against a defense that's been struggling their ass off all year.
Worst in the sport, really, this defense right now. It is the postgame show brought to you by Pepsi, made for Cowboys watching. Zach Wolchuk along the Super Bowl winning scout Brian brought us here in the Miller Lite Field Club at AT&T Stadium. Just a tough one, tough way to lose, 27-20, since he gets the win. I'm sure there are some Cowboy fans who will take your calls and texts that maybe the loss is the victory. But goodness, the way that this thing had fallen for you, you certainly had an opportunity. Joe Burrow, I felt like, should have been sacked about 20 times in this football game. Somehow he's Houdini, finds his way out of it. I'm sure there's a lot of plays you can look at and be like, Micah Parsons is being held here.
Yeah.
But he ends up drawing 2 holding calls throughout the game. I think Mike Zimmer deserves a lot of credit. Yeah, I saw a lot of texts at halftime about the way they were defending. Maybe you play some more zone. Look, Jamar Chase had his against Bland, against Diggs, against Lewis.
It didn't matter.
He was able to make. Sometimes these players are just darn good at football.
You gotta press him.
Jamar Chase is just a problem, and it didn't matter who the Cowboys put on him. He was going to get his, but really they didn't let anybody else but Chase beat them for the majority of the game.
Sure.
Chase Brown had a pretty good one. T. Higgins was kept in check.
Yeah.
Yoshi-Vash had one really big play. But ultimately, if you're saying 20 points is what Cincy's got with 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, I'm thinking Cowboys can win this football game.
You're thinking and going in, I know on our show on the G-Bag Nation, we were kind of talking about the path to victory was to hold Cincinnati under 28 points. That was the path to victory. That was going to say, hey, somehow, some way, if you could hold them to, say, 25 points, 23 points, something like that, maybe you could find a way. Because it was going to be predicated on Dallas's offense doing something. And for times, yes, I still wonder, where's CeeDee Lamb in the second half of these games?
Oh, come on, man.
How can he be just a
look who throwing him the ball.
And they have nothing. And you saw how they used Chase. You saw it didn't matter who they put him on.
Man, you got Burrows throwing the ball.
Ways to make plays. CeeDee Lamb similar could make the same time.
Oh, man, that's not the same.
Don't do anything to get him open that way. And you're right. I think this one, Cooper Rush, he's a backup quarterback. But Cooper Rush is very, very, very limited on what he can do for your offense.
He is.
He
absolutely is. I mean, the air yards and all those advanced metrics and statistics that will come out, they show that. They prove it in a big, big way. There's no question. Certainly now we got to worry about, we got the text coming in when it comes to Overshown. The Overshown injury was devastating. It absolutely is.
We don't know. That's a knee, and that thing went straight from the field to the locker room.
Yeah.
That wasn't even go to the –
Hey, my guy, Brian Brothers, this is my dog. That's my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he was so – my dog Brian Brothers said, hey, we needed to see more from CD, man. We needed to see more from CD. We need to see more from CD. And then the next stance, hey, man, but Cooper Rush is very limited. You're like, God, no, that's the whole point. Shit. Yeah, but look what Chase is doing. He got Burrows. Of course Chase is supposed to be doing that. Oh, my gosh, Brian. Come on, man. Hey, I needed to see more from Lamb, man. Hey, Lamb, we needed to see more from him. We needed to see more from Lamb. And then the next stanza, hey, man, and Cooper Rush is very limited, you think? And then on top of that, you got to understand that you have Mike McCarthy calling the damn plays. I can't make this stuff up. Oh, my God. JD from D.C., time to trigger trade. Yeah. Ben for the $4.99. I was glad to see Micah leave this episode, this latest episode off rather than trying to be buddies. I love that. I love that about Micah Parsons being angry and upset, not shaking hands and kicking. I love that little hit that he put. He just put a little dab on Burrows. I love that. Parsons is learning. Parsons is learning that these people are not his friends,
Lawrence and my kids are my beneficiaries.
Yeah. Parsons is learning that these are not his friends. Law Rush does not read the whole field. He has a weak arm and he panics. I agree. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, man. I agree. I thought that we was going to be able to win this game, though, a little bit. And I could be crazy. But we had this game right. We had this game right here. Oh, we had this game right on our side, but man, the Cowboys had the Cowboys. Cowboys had to be cowboying. Parsons learning. Yep. Hey, that was the greatest. Look, you learn more from your failures than your success. And watching Parsons soaking on the sidelines with the frustration. I loved it. Look, I know it sounds crass, but I love every bit of it. Parsons walking off the field. Parsons leaving angry, upset, pissed off at life and liberty in the pursuit of happiness that he's not getting. I love it. Oh, yeah, because that defeat right now is going to have him so lasered and locked in that these next few games, although we probably be now mathematically out of the situation, these next few games is going to be pleasure and pain. I'm stuck in this game. Holler my name. We all go die. We bleed through similar veins. How can you panic? You heard the gun blast. It's on the roof. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. You know, I can't wait for this Parsons guy to really tap into the dark side. Yeah. He going to be evil Ryu now. You know, he going to be the evil one. I love that. You know, sometimes you got to get this thing going into that particular direction. You know, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna put our prayers together for Overshawn. We want Overshawn to stand back into the mix of this. The next game is Carolina. Come on with it. CD is too friendly. Nah, CD. Look, man. Was CD out there parlaying and playing around with somebody? I think CD got a little dog in him too, you know. But it's just the fact that the way this team is. Remember I was saying that earlier, the little end around thing. CD Lamb was literally running that ball like OU Lamb when he did that little end around, you know. Yeah. Parsons joining the dark side. Yeah. I love it. Come on with it. So somebody said land starts next week. TC on the drum says bad management, poor coaching, bad play calling, politics were still in this game. Yeah. CD playing through some hurt, you know. Oh, he did. Who did CD Lamb exchange his jersey with? Chase? Did CD exchange his jersey with Chase? That's the only person, or Burrows.
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas.
Yeah. Jersey swaps are weak. Yeah, who did Lamb change his jersey with? Like all that stuff, man. Y'all just say, hey man, hit me up, man. You know, y'all got to understand that these are multi. This not. Let me tell y'all how crazy this jersey swapping is. These are multi-millionaires. Let me say this again from way in the back. These are mother-sucking multi-millionaires. Just hit homie up, man, and be like, hey, man, just FedEx me that damn jersey, dog. Good game, man. For the optics, you don't have to change the goddamn jersey right there on the field. Wait till the cameras are off and say, hey, man, good game, man, hell of a game. Let me get that jersey up out for you, bro. You can hit them up. You can hit Poogie and Ray up to go grab that jersey, man. Come on with it.
7 seasons. Chase finishing with 75 yards after the catch, giving him 622 yak yards on the season.
Let me be a multi-millionaire
in the NFL. So that's another indication. I get it. Like Chase, slippery as hell, but tackling.
Yeah.
Man.
How could you, if you're the Bengals, how could you not want to sign that guy to an extension?
I don't know.
That to me seems like the biggest no-brainer. But again, we're not covering the Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
We're just watching one of their players just dominate with the quarterback who is a perfect fit for him. Trust me, my days of going to LSU and watching LSU football, those two Yeah, I've seen this act before.
That's a special connection.
That is a special connection.
It really, really is. You just cheered for America's team on the field. Now see them on the reels. Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, now at a casino near you. Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. If you've got a gambling problem, please contact 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over. All right, let's go to Charlie in New Mexico. Charlie, what's up, man? You had a great call early in the week with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. You know, the kid touched the ball. Bad teams find new ways to lose football games. I understand that. Yeah. But I agree with you 100%. We're averaging 7 yards a carry. Everybody in the world could see that Cooper Rush couldn't hit the broadside of the barn in the second half. Yeah. But yet Mike McCarthy cannot help himself. He has got to chunk the ball all over the place. And what does it get us? It gets us absolutely nothing because the man cannot throw the ball tonight. So my question is to Broadus.
Yeah.
We're out of the playoffs. We got a better chance of running through hell with gasoline drawers on than to make the playoffs. So why not play Trey Lance now? Find out what you got in him because you know what you have in Cooper Rush. So put Lance in there, and that way you either keep him or get rid of him at the end of the year.
I agree.
Thanks a lot, guys. You do a good job.
I agree.
Yeah, good call.
I agree.
Man.
I mean, you're right. The season is over as far as playoff opportunities. You're not in the hunt or any of that stuff anymore. You're kind of playing out the string. And, yeah, I am, now, will they do this on a short week? Probably not.
Yeah.
And then you've got what other games you got coming up? Tampa, Philly, Commanders. They'll say Cooper Rush gives us the best chance to win those games. Unless the general manager steps in and says, "Hey, we're playing Trey Lance this week," but I don't anticipate that, because they got to make a decision on Mike McCarthy. Seems like the groundswell this week was, Mike's coming back. Mike's coming back. I know we had Troy Aikman on earlier, and heck, Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, when he says something, I think you absolutely have to listen. But, if you're going to bring back Mike McCarthy, you better damn bring somebody in that can call plays.
Yes.
Because I do not want him calling plays anymore. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. The caller mentioned about 7 yards of carry. Find ways to kind of manufacture offense that way, running the football. Play to the strengths of your team at the time. But, no, you want to drop Cooper Rush back in these situations, and it turns out that he can't get the ball down the field.
Yeah.
So you get what you deserve as a play caller. You're standing at the podium right now, and you get to talk about an L you just took.
Yeah, you look at passing net yards for the Cowboys. They had 166. They ran 156.
Yeah.
The passing net yards for Cincy was 359.
Uh-huh.
There's a ridiculous discrepancy there between the two of you. And again, you passed the ball net-wise 10 more yards than you ran it. Running was the way to victory today. And in the game's most crucial moments, late in the game, you ran it one time for 14 yards on a first down, and then you went away from it.
Yep.
And ultimately it cost you 100%. It did there. 877-881-1053. The number to call.
I'm for Trey Lance playing, by the way.
I am too. I
mean, just to see if you want to, if that's what you want to do. But I don't think this coaching staff will.
And look, they had a 2% chance to make the playoffs if they won. So I don't know mathematically. I'd assume that they'd be eliminated. I haven't seen that yet. But you're right. I mean, the season's done.
Yeah.
You basically, and I asked this to Stephen Jones on the flagship on the G-Bag Nation when we have him on Fridays at 3 on 105.3 The Fan. Like, do you still think that you got the return on that fourth-round pick if you don't see him play it down? And he said yes, because they needed some type of flexibility with Dak. They didn't know if they'd get the Dak deal done. Maybe I'm just a schmuck. Well, I am, but it still doesn't make a ton of sense when you have Trey Lance expiring and Dak Prescott expire at the same time. And then you don't, Trey Lance was never going to play for you, I guess. They don't want to see him take the field. So for a team that's about drafting and developing, they're basically giving away fourth-round picks like it's Oprah on a Christmas special. You get a fourth, you get a fourth, you get a fourth. They've just done it with Jonathan Mingo.
Yes.
And what's Jonathan Mingo done for you since the trade when they wanted to try and get everybody excited about this wide receiver that they had a second-round grade on? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, to me, there's just so much. I don't really know where this organization is going. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what the thinking is a lot of the time. That one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now you're in a situation where you absolutely have the latitude to play Trey, and maybe you play him and he goes to sign somebody else, but at least you know exactly what you wasted that fourth-round pick on to see if you want him to be your backup quarterback in the future.
I agree.
Just doesn't make much sense to me.
Nope.
All right, back to the phones. Let's go to Jack in Fort Worth. Jack, what's up, man?
Hey, guys, I'm just calling in. Mike McCarthy runs the same plays every week, and it just does not work. We fail to get yards. And obviously, it doesn't seem like he's a great motivator with how Micah Parsons just walked off the field basically crying. I mean, I'm sick of it at this point. I can't say I'm just incredibly furious. Even when the Cowboys were 4-12 last year, Tony Romo's deal, I cannot say I am any more happy about this. This is awful. Trey Lance needs to play.
Appreciate the call, Jack. I get it, man. It's never fun when you watch the team lose. And I know we had the battle with tank for a draft pick, and it just stinks. It stinks as a fan to go through a season like this. And fortunately, they've won 12 games the last 3 years.
Slip away like we did today.
We made the mistakes out there. That mistake we made at the end was very impactful, is all I can say.
How gutting was it for you to see Overshown go down like that after everything he's been through in the last year?
Well, the first thing that you would think about with anybody is him individually. And, of course, he's having an outstanding year, and we'll see what it brings. It's probably it's concerning at this time, very concerning.
All right, the next home game for the Dallas Cowboys is a Sunday night affair against Tampa Bay on December 22nd. If you're interested in that game, you want to come to Jerry World to check it out, I've got an app for you. It's called Game Time. Check it out right there. You see that code that's on?
Yeah, so, man, what a crazy situation and what a crazy outcome altogether. It's been that way for 30 years. I'm just so tired of hearing Jerry Jones' voice and mouth, talk about things. It's still more of the same, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we are. It's just a terrible team, man, as it relates to this, bro. And I know we only lost by a point. I mean, by a touchdown. But it's just the lead up to it.
Hopes just about in all jeopardy. It will be next to impossible for them to make the playoffs this season. So on this night, when they had a chance to beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals, it ends up being a tough walk home. That's a look at sports. Chris will be back with a final word after this.
The final word, baby. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's just talk about this, though. Burrows with 33 for 44, 369 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. Chase, 14 carries for 58, average 4 yards per run. Jamar Chase, he killed us. We already went over his numbers. But both of the chases, man. This dude had 6 receptions for 65 yards too, by the way. So what the Cowboys did was they didn't have a single solitary answer of slowing down Chase. For the likelihood, majority of the tape, I know that it can come down to like managing the game, of keeping the score within reach. But I think that they had a flawed response against Chase, and I get it. Chase going to get them numbers regardless. But they gave him. They literally said, hey, here you are. Here you are, by playing these guys so far off that they didn't try to at least have the man over the top and jam him underneath. It was just crazy how they were able to just throw pitch and catch the entirety of the game. And they didn't make no necessary adjustments. But the primary cost of this loss, you have to put it on Mike McCarthy at this point. Don't you know what people would pray for? To have a running back to average 7.5 yards per tote. Don't y'all know how crazy that's good? That's really good. That's really good. To contextualize it, let me see. To contextualize it, that's about less than a yard almost of what Burrows was throwing. Because Burrow was throwing for 8 yards, 8.5 basically, 8.4 average up, around down, 8 yards. if Burrow was re-rounded down, Burrow was averaging 8 yards per throw, and he gave you 369 yards. We was doing that on the ground, just minus a yard. Let that sink in. And the Cowboys refused to go back to what was working.
Sauces and great happy hour and
They refused to go back to what's working. And this has been an ongoing situation. This has been an ongoing situation where they go back to doing the exact same thing that give us the loss and not doing the same thing to give us the win. And it's crazy. That's where we at. And I don't believe that people, Captain Salty, is people are hating on Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush have his limitations. That's what Brian Broader said. You know, that's what we all know, that Cooper Rush have his limitations. Cooper Rush definitely have his limitations. But you have a situation where you have a running back that's averaging 7.5 yards per tote, meaning that would eliminate the limitations. That's basically what it is. So I don't think that nobody's hating on Cooper Rush, but these are facts that most people don't want to hear. You know, that's just what it is. You know, to that point, to that degree, what you do in those situations is that when you have the kind of caliber of running back that's averaging 7.5 yards per tote, you play off of that. Newsflash. Kevin Gray said Mike McCarthy said that Overshown injury doesn't look good at all. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Well, we hope. All we do is just put on hope.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
All we just put on that hope vision. You put on that hope vision. Cooper, rush hour, Riggs. It was really rush hour. When you stuck in rush hour, you stuck in traffic. Yeah. Mike McCarthy fought his bot Cooper, you know. I want Dak to be good. I'm just still waiting, you know. I get it, man. The Dak conversation should be put on the shelf for next year. He ain't going to come out here and do anything for us right now. The name of the game right now is what we all been saying. Look, the quarterback that got the most reps during the offseason, got the most time on the center, his name is Trey Lance. And he's the guy that's getting paid. Look, Cooper Rush getting paid $2.5 million to be out there. Trey Lance is getting paid $5.5 million to hold the clipboard, right? So you put Trey Lance in these last few games, at least salvage some of the things. Maybe, just maybe, you can either get rid of him if he don't show you anything, or keep him, sign him for another 1-year contract or 2-year deal. That's what you should do with the Trey Lance situation. Cooper Rush been in the league for 7 years. That's a long time, man. That's long. So either he got it or he don't have it at this point. And if you're a team that can say, if you believe in your heart of hearts that Cooper Rush is your light and savior and all of this stuff, then be Cooper Rush, be CR10. But that's just the reality of it. He is who he is at this point. Greer could have won that game. Yeah, I ain't gonna say anything about Will Greer. You know, shout out to Will and them. Let's see.
For 500 designs to choose from.
That long commercial right there. Oh, that commercial longer than Shaq feet. Brock looked good at the center spot. He did. A 7-year rookie. Leave Cooper alone, man. Give Lance a chance. You know, wait. We can say the same about Dak. Yeah. But he made All-Pro. I get it. Y'all hate Dak. But name me another backup that made All-Pro, and then we can stop having these conversations. He made All-Pro. He's averaging about 30 touchdowns to 12 interceptions throughout his career. I get the Dak hate, but don't you know if you look up when the running back is averaging 4.5 yards per tote, don't you know that blockhead Dak Prescott is undefeated? When the running back is averaging 4.5 and 5 yards per tote, he's undefeated. So if Dak is getting the running back averaging 7 yards, what would you think would have happened tonight? That's all I'm saying. People get it so conflicted and misused that the fact that he is a play action quarterback. He would have flourished in this game. Especially if you have a running back that's averaging 7 yards per tote. It would have been easy money for this team. You know, y'all would have been like, oh, man, that's what they do against bad teams. You know, that's just what it is. I get it. That's why I wanted Dak Prescott to leave so bad so that you guys can see this team to be for what it is right now. I wanted him to just leave. I wanted Dak Prescott to go to a whole nother team, so we won't hear him no more. Because I've been rooting for this team before he was born, before he came out of the womb of his mom, before he knew how to spell foot and a ball. I was rooting for this team. I was rooting for the team before Jerry Jones bought the team. But y'all make it about Dak so much. I was like, man, just get rid of this guy. Let him go to another team so y'all can see what this team really is. Yeah, so it's just what it is. Yeah, so this team
were really poor. One of them was good field position, and they had the time. They could have run out the clock with efficient offense, 3-something to go in the half.
There you go.
And you could have just run, even if you kicked a field goal, because you're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. Right. And you just drive down, eat the clock. But they threw it a couple of times, and that was the last one. But the last two possessions, I thought, Zach, of the second quarter just were really, especially in light of the fact that they moved the ball every other time, even the one on the interception, which looked like a complete miscommunication between Rush and Lamb. They'd moved the ball the length of the field, so they had not had any trouble doing that. Then suddenly those two possessions they did. And then when you look back and track the whole game, I think that's where they could have swung it in a completely different direction, and that last play might not have ever had to happen.
Facts.
Brad, I kind of feel like that I don't know what more Mike Zimmer could have done in this game. Other than treating Chase like he was a gunner on the punt team and put two guys up on him the whole and just jostle him at the line of scrimmage.
I mean, I said exactly that in the fourth quarter.
That's what they should have did.
That at one point they held him to a field goal, and I said, if they hold him to 3 here, I consider that a win.
Facts.
And I used to do arena football, and it's where I met Will McClay, as a matter of fact. And in arena football, if you hold the other team to a field goal, that qualifies as a stop.
Yes.
So then when they did it again later in the game, I said, that qualifies as a small W win.
Right.
And when you think about the fact that, especially once Overshone was injured and out, you have one truly difference-making player, and you have 3 or 4 other really good ones.
This is how you got to play.
For Mike
Chase
Zimmer to figure out a way, and
let me show y'all how you got to play Chase,
in
y'all.
that way, to hold the Bengals to what he held them to, I think that deserves major recognition.
Did you look at offensively? I know you pointed to
this is how you play Chase, y'all.
And we looked at that as well in the second half. But to us, it was, man, the running.
Hey,
game was
who remember
effective.
this?
Rico was so good tonight. 18 carries, 131 yards. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry. Were you thinking, why stop?
That's how you got to play Chase.
I think that here's the problem with that. Their secondary is so bad, at least statistically.
Until it plays your offense.
Right.
Yeah. And they don't get sacks until they play
who
your
remember
offense.
that game?
That's exactly
or
right.
Pressures or anything like that.
I would not have. I don't think I would have just run the ball, Zach. I thought they could have done a little bit more of it than they did for a while. Then they came out in the third quarter and started doing more of it, and it was useful. But I think you have to be able to throw the ball. If you're not, look. if you're not throwing the ball to C.D. Lamb right now, to whom are you throwing the ball in whom you have confidence that he's going to win?
The problem was I saw 2 targets to Tolbert that didn't even look close.
Right.
And now I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I've eliminated Tolbert. I've eliminated Brooks.
Well, Brooks was inactive because
but I'm just saying in my mind, I'm starting to eliminate.
Yeah, I mean, Tolbert to me has regressed.
I'm starting to eliminate guys, and I'm sitting there thinking, your best chances of throwing the football could be to Cooks
or Ferguson, and Ferguson was the second most targeted.
Yeah, and see,
or Turpin, but
not vertically down the field.
Down the field, come on, slants.
Run slants,
in the middle of the field.
He had that 117-yarder that was.
Yes,
it was in the middle of the field.
He is not a he's not a piece that you can rely on for bread and butter, right? He's a nice little side dish that you definitely want to work in,
right?
But they do not have, if you look forward. I'm disappointed in Tolbert because when he came out of training camp after last year, and he came out of training camp, I thought he doesn't have to worry about being the number 3. He's ready to be the number 2, and he has not played to that even.
Come on, Brad. He don't even get a chance.
Hurt, and so I think that has to be something they have to look at.
They honestly have one legitimate receiver.
And then
and then with Cooks, I mean, I don't know how to evaluate that one.
You might at some point, maybe a couple of your better receivers are tight ends. Schoonmaker's. He's improved leaps and bounds in the last month.
Sure has.
Yeah.
And hey, let's not call him Jason Witten, but
I tell you what's so disappointing, Brad, is because going into this game, as we studied it. And the Bengals, and there's just so many things you could have said. Okay, just do this. Just do this. And you knew Cincinnati's offense was going to be a problem.
Right. I thought you called him a side piece.
Well, in this game, I thought if they lost the game, it would be because they just didn't have the wherewithal to score 35 points, not because they didn't have the wherewithal to score 23 points.
Right.
I mean, the empty possessions, the 2 at the end of the second quarter jump out mostly to me. Those are the ones that when you're playing with who you're playing with, you've really got to maximize the opportunities that you have. And offensively, I did not think they did that.
I understand empty possessions against really good defenses.
Yeah.
I get that. You're compromised at quarterback. We talked about receiving. You got 3 different offensive linemen playing. I get it, but to me, that was a wasted opportunity today.
Yeah,
that was a wasted opportunity for a defense that's been much maligned with some of the things that's happened to them earlier in the season.
With the players they've lost, they have Nealand back. Obviously, they have Parsons back.
Yeah,
at some point, perhaps they'll have
Overshown.
But now you take out Overshown, who's their most dynamic player.
Yeah.
And so I just think that under all of the circumstances, for them to have gotten to the point that they've reached is a huge plus for what Mike Zimmer and his staff are doing. We had Chauncey Golston on the Monday Night Cowboy Hour last week, and I asked him why. And by the way, very thoughtful young man, very interesting.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job with him.
Thank you. And he did a great job. And so, I said, why do you think the defense has played better over the last few weeks? And he said something that made great sense, which is that, we got a lot of young guys, and so it takes a while for people to realize that, okay, well, we used to call this that, and that's not this because we're in a different defense. And it probably took them a quarter of the season to understand what they were running, and that just happens. And now that they have, if they'll be without Overshown for a while, that'll be a real shame.
Yeah, let's hope let's hope it's not till next season kind of a thing.
Well, they've only got 4 games left.
Well, I meant, into next season.
Yeah, type of deal.
You hope that he will get on the field.
Lamb's a number 1. He's number 1 receiver.
Tremendous interview in the pregame show with Troy Aikman.
Thanks.
Was there anything that Troy said that really stood out to you?
Yeah, there were 2 things.
Yeah.
What it
two
was?
things that blew me away. One was that
Joe Burrow.
Don't forget, I did all of his games,
right?
Except for a couple of years, and we were pretty close. And when he said Joe Burrow's like my favorite quarterback ever, I said, well, wait a minute. He fanboyed Dan Marino when he played, including when he had to play against Marino a couple of times. I said, and he said, yeah, no, that Burrow is that good. And the other thing was when he just flat out said he thinks Mike McCarthy will be back. And I said, why do you know, what's your feeling about that? You've said this. He said, well, unless you hire Belichick, I don't know who you're going to get who's any more qualified. And he said, I have a lot of respect for Mike McCarthy as a coach. He said, I believe Jerry Jones does. And I think, he didn't say I hope. He said, I think Mike McCarthy will be back coaching this team next year.
I respect what Troy Aikman says. I do like the possibility, if you said Mike McCarthy coming back, only if there's somebody different calling the plays. That's why.
Me too.
Well, that's interesting.
That's where I look at this. I think as far as getting your team ready to get to the game, but I need something different with this. I need something different with this.
But you understand that that's
offense.
what Mike McCarthy likes about coaching football more than anything else.
Then that's where I have to disagree with Troy Aikman.
Well, and does Mike want to come back? I guess if they gave it that.
I just hope Mike don't want to come back.
Ask the $1 million question.
Oh no, that's the truth.
Nobody asks it, and it is absolutely critical.
Oh no,
nobody asks out loud, Mike, do you want this job?
It's too hot out here, Mike.
I promise you that there are aspects to the circus that he does not enjoy. You can win with them. You can win with the circus. You can. Yeah. But you have to understand what you're dealing with and not get frustrated and not get distracted when you don't want to talk about an injury and the owner goes on the flagship station 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday morning and says, well, the guy's playing or not playing. There's all the stuff that happens. You got to be able to deal with that. You got to know that, and it can be done.
Pete Carroll, Green.
I don't
Pete
think
Carroll
he would
won't be
answer
bad.
the question honestly, and it would be an unfair one to ask him now with 4 weeks left in the season. But I think it's a legitimate question. Does Mike McCarthy want to keep this job?
He would tell you if you had a beer with him afterwards, after the season kind of a thing.
I will say this.
I think he would.
Every head coach, every single one, has some ego, much more than others.
He resuscitated his career. He did a fine job.
What was Jason Garrett's ego?
I don't think that he wants to say, I can't do this and walk away. I think, but I don't think it's a slam dunk that he wants the job, and that's the one question nobody asks publicly.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Boys, have a good week.
We appreciate you. We'll talk to you after
Talk
Carolina
to you Sunday. Yes,
on
sir.
Sunday. Absolutely. There he is, the voice of your Cowboys, the legendary Brad Shea. More of your calls and
Yes, indeed, man. That call was brought to you by.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
Yeah, that's 217-817-33 and all of the threes you can possibly remember. Do you remember? From the 214, you're live on the nation. Brought to you by FrankelFirm.com. Talk to your boy, Law Nation Sports, man. You with it.
Hey, how you doing, Law?
Hey, better days. What's going on with you?
Hey, likewise. Man, I just feel like this. I mean, everything I was about to say, y'all pretty much summed it up.
Right.
Like, right when Dak got hurt and they said that he was out for the season, I knew the season was over with, bro. Like, I was just being real. Because, you know, people want to trash on Cooper Rush. Hey, Cooper Rush is a backup quarterback at the end of the day. So he's going to give you backup work.
Quality.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Backup quality. So you can't expect him to be Superman and stuff, and especially against the Bengals and all these other teams. And, you know, and I know people was hyping them up. Oh, yeah, we finna do something just because they beat the sorry Giants.
We beat two divisional foes, that's what we call common opponents. In both of those games, we won. I think we won by about one possession, right? Both of those games got down to the wire. Is that correct?
Yeah, barely. You know,
Barely.
I'm glad we won.
Yeah, and it showed a lot of fight. So that's what I was trying to say. So you drive a car, right, bro? You got a car, and on that in the car when you blow your tire out and you put the spare on there, nobody read the directions of the spare. The spare says don't go no more than 50 miles per hour or 50 miles traveling, because it got its limitations. Now, you can still get to point A to point B, but that is what your backup quarterback is. But people are so angry, so frustrated at the starting quarterback that they would look at the spare and say, hey, the spare's better.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's the problem with the Cowboys in general, too. But keep going.
Like, I respect the passion,
Right.
It's good, but, you got to be in reality at the same time. Look at it. We got an owner who, really, who wants to run the team and surround themselves by yes men and brown nosers. That's why we still got the same coach that we had. That's why we had Jason Garrett for all them years.
Yeah.
We should have got rid of him a long time ago. And, I'm at this point, I'm just like, all right, so at this point, either play Trey Lance, and I've been one of them to just put Trey Lance in, let him get some experience, because for a little bit there, it seemed like he was talking like he wanted to replace Dak with Trey for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, just playing for a little bit and then just get a draft pick. Right? When Dak got hurt, I'm like, just get a draft pick. Don't get too invested. I ain't finna go to no playoffs or Super Bowl with a backup right now. And just the way things are going. Not trying to be too negative, but just being realistic. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got to say.
No doubt, man. Good call for you, Chief. Have a good one, dog. Appreciate you.
Hey, you too, man.
No doubt. No doubt. The man that was sweating bullets. I know he was, man, for the 201. Especially you sweating in that third quarter, too. Yeah. Yeah, you were sweating in that third quarter.
Hey, man, hey, look.
Yeah.
Hey, man, look. I put my money where my mouth is. You see it?
Yeah. Boy, you sweating more than R. Kelly at an all-girls camp coming fresh out of jail. Yeah.
All I got to say, man, to take your dog Julio out.
Oh, my gosh.
And open your dog Julio up.
Man.
And take a nice drink of the Don. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
I got the hen over there, man. I should have went and got
the
it.
hen is good.
Yeah.
Go get the hen. Go get the hen.
Jeez.
Go get the hen, man. Listen, man. Listen. Like you said, Cooper Rush has his limitations.
Yeah, just limitations indeed. Yeah.
Those scoring drives was runs. Cooper Rush wasn't slinging that football long. So to the guy, oh man, you're a Dak Prescott guy, blah blah, Cooper Rush, blah 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 blah. It was CeeDee Lamb with a long run. Rico had runs.
27-yard
run. Wasn't slinging that football. He was not swinging that football today. So I don't want to hear Cooper Rush, man, with that Bengals offense. Cooper Rush and the touchdown that he threw to CeeDee Lamb, that was so easy. I could have threw that touchdown low.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. You know how wide open CD and Cooks was? Come on, dog. Cooper Rush ain't throwing the ball between no keyhole. He not doing that. So cut it out with the Cooper Rush trash out here. I don't want to hear Cooper Rush no more. We can win games. All I heard, man, we can win games with Cooper Rush, and Cooper Rush could take us to the playoffs. What happened?
I was hoping that we can get some variations of a Nick Foles or a Brad Johnson or Trent Difford. I hope, man. I'm leaning on hope, man.
No, and I don't want to hear that defense played lights out. Cooper Rush offense couldn't get it done. It was the runs that was getting it done. Cooper Rush didn't do nothing to change the dynamic of the football game besides throw a pick. I don't care. You can blame it on CD, whatever.
No,
if Dak Prescott would have threw that same pick, y'all would have said Dak Prescott threw that pick. So I don't want to hear nothing about it was CD Lamb's fault. Cooper Rush was trash.
Hey man, I got no rebuttal, man. All I can say is that I'm ready for Mike McCarthy to go too, though.
Listen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mike McCarthy was garbage. But that's the same play calling Dak Prescott had to go through. The same play calling, Law. The same Rico Dowdle that was running and they went away from it and told Dak Prescott throw the ball. Same thing, but y'all blame it on Dak. Oh, Dak Prescott.
Here's my fault about Dak too, though. Dak goes to fight for that man, Mike McCarthy. And then Mike McCarthy goes to push that man in front of the bus. Break that down. Break that dynamic down.
I'm gonna tell you.
Break it down, man. Break it down. Bro.
I think Dak Prescott don't want another OC, another system that he has learned, and I think Dak Prescott has some type of where if Mike stays here, Dak Prescott has more control over the system. Where if somebody else comes in here, he ain't going to have no control. He going to have to do whatever that OC tell him to do. And I think Dak Prescott's like, man, I done been here. I'm a veteran now. Let me call my own stuff.
Man.
Let me run it how I want to run it. If another OC come in here, that's not going to happen. Dak Prescott's going to have to learn a whole new offense. And who's to say he's going to like this offense? So I can see
give me Pete Carroll. Give me Pete Carroll. Here's the reason why. You know who was Dak Prescott comp? Russell Wilson. Hey, shoot. What you want? What you want? You want fresh Jason Witten? You want fresh Jason Witten?
No.
Who you want? What do you want from us, man?
Give me the guy from I understand he ain't gonna want to come here because he got rules and
Johnson
things that he want. So I don't know about him, but get a guy from college, man. If okay, let's say they go different with the head coach. Get an offensive coordinator. What about the dudes from Oregon, man? Get one of them, man. Get somebody that's some high-powered offenses out here in college.
That Chip Kelly shit, that ain't gonna work though. 100. You remember when Chip Kelly? You remember when Chip Kelly made it to the league from all of that college high power and stuff? It didn't work.
I didn't say head coach, though. I didn't say head coach. I said offensive coordinator. Nah.
So are you gonna mix that in? Are you gonna mix that in with?
You need to.
You gonna mix that in with Mike McCarthy?
No, I think Mike McCarthy got to go, dog.
Okay.
I think he got to go, man, because he's not gonna want to give up play calling. He's not. He's not gonna want to give up play.
The only reason why I said bring in the old man River Pete Carroll is because of the fact that his success with Russell Wilson. He understands, like, Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson have similar skill set. Dak is a taller version of Russ.
Dak Prescott don't run no more, but Dak Prescott doesn't run anymore.
Yeah.
That's not really going to fly like that, Law. That's not going to fly. And I'm nervous that his play calling is going to be the same as Mike's.
Okay,
this old play calling gotta go, Law.
And he had Schottenheimer there too. I don't know, man.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong now. Better players can make the play calling go better. That is true. Better players can make the play calling flow better.
Right.
But I just think we need an upgrade in plays, period. I think we need an upgrade in plays, period, man. We need that. So get a young play caller or get a play. I would prefer a play caller that's been in the league.
No. What I'm saying is, for those who thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about, and they saying you mean Geno Smith. No, Pete Carroll, when he first, they think I'm saying Geno Smith. No, but when Pete Carroll first got Russell Wilson, I'm talking about those years. You know what I'm saying? When he was coaching Russell Wilson and them boys, and they had the run game and they had all of that stuff. They used play action. They knew what the strength was for him. That's what I'm thinking for. If the Cowboys only like the retreads, the older guys, and go to Happy Hills with Jerry Jones and stuff, it got to be somebody Jerry Jones comfortable with. they got a ring. You know, that's the only thing. Jerry Jones wants them to be comfortable. He don't want to be uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah,
right. And that's the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why he's not going to get a young guy in here.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong. I don't care nothing about who comes in here until Jerry Jones falls back.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Mike McCarthy even said it. Yo, man, he keeps saying we can't do this and we can't do that. What is this we?
We? Yeah.
Who you talking about with we?
Yeah.
So that tells you right there the Joneses are involved. That's why he keeps saying we.
Yeah.
And then you got Dak saying, just let Mike do his thing. Why is he saying it? Why is he giving little bit of hints, but he's not coming out and saying it?
I hate being a cryptic
The
team,
Joneses
man.
are involved in this thing. They're involved. And that's why Mike came out and said, I don't know what he's talking about, man. You know, I got power.
Man, 100 grand. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna let some more callers on, but man, appreciate you for calling in, bro. Yes, indeed.
No
But
doubt.
you sweating though a little bit though. Yeah,
I was, but I knew.
Appreciate you, bro.
Cowboys going Cowboys.
Yeah, I did say he was sweating a little bit. Rush came out there for a little bit. He gave us a little something. I got from the 774. You live. J May, talk to me, man.
What's happening, Law?
Not much, bro.
Man, the one problem I'm gonna have with this whole coaching staff, if we remember 2007 when we hired Wade Phillips, didn't Jerry Jones hire offensive coordinator Jason Garrett before he brought in Wade Phillips?
I think there was something of that nature, but they paid them the same amount of money though. You know. Right,
and then if I'm not mistaken, I think when they hired Jason Garrett, full-time coach, did they hire? I think did anybody Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator? Pretty sure.
No, they. All right, so this is how it happened with Jason Garrett. You know, we had a slew of different offensive coordinators. I think Todd was one of them. The guy that coached Big Ben Roethlisberger went pretty well as an OC there. If my memory served me correct, it was another guy. Then Scott Linehan came, and when Scott Linehan came, Jason Garrett was the walk-around coach before Scott Linehan. He was the guy that called plays too. But Jerry Jones made it his business not to give the power of Jason Garrett calling plays anymore, and Jason Garrett could no longer call plays anymore. To make a long story short, so it went from Scott Linehan to what's his kid name? Kellen Moore. Yeah.
Kellen Moore. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, my whole point is I think a lot of the problem that's going to be with bringing a new coaching staff in is that Jerry's going to handpick his offensive coordinator first. That's just what Jerry does. You know, most coaching staffs when they come in, the head coach picks his guys. And Jerry likes to pick his own guys first, and just a lot of coaches not gonna like that. You know what I mean? And as far as the whole Dak vibing for Mike McCarthy, of course Dak's gonna vibe for Mike McCarthy because all he does is call passing plays. You know what I mean? And every quarterback wants the ball in his hands, so. Yeah. You know, this whole coaching thing, I in my every ounce of my body, I believe that Jerry's gonna bring Mike McCarthy back. He's gonna find a way. All we're gonna do is win 1 or 2 more games, and then he's just gonna find an excuse. You know, he's gonna blame it on injuries. Mike McCarthy didn't have a full roster. We had injuries, so I believe that if he had a full roster, we could make moves. So he's gonna find everything he can to bring Mike McCarthy back, and we're just gonna have these same issues. We're not gonna have any accountability. We're not gonna have any discipline, clock management. We're gonna be in the same situation again next year, bro.
Yeah, man, you ain't lying, bro. It's just one of those things, man. But hey, let's hope that things can work out, man. This next season, whoever they're gonna be the head coach or whoever Jerry Jones tried to attempt to assemble, bro. Appreciate you for calling in.
Appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man. Yeah. So you said Tony Sperano, and then it went from Tony Sperano to Jason Garrett. Todd Haley is his name. Y'all look up Todd Haley. He was one of the coaches here. Then they didn't let him call plays, but he was pretty good at installing stuff. Then I think he went to Pittsburgh, something like that. He was very successful with Big Ben Roethlisberger. And then Jason Garrett, from Jason Garrett to Scott Linehan to Kellen Moore. Like, none of these guys are world beaters as offensive coordinators, though, by the way. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that pretty much are like yes-mans to the Joneses. And outside of Todd Haley, I think Todd Haley had a lot of bite, and that's why they got rid of him. John Kittner to a degree, because you got to understand the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator, they work hand and foot together. Yeah. So it's just been one of those things, man, that the Cowboys really like a certain. The Cowboys got a type. You know, that's just what I'm going to say there. Cowboys got a type. And their type is just for what it is. I got from the 585, and then I got the 863. But 585, Reek, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Cowboy Nation? What's going on, Raw Nation? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
That's good, man. Yeah, man. My whole thing with Mike McCarthy and all that stuff, man. I want this dude to get fired, man. I'm just gonna be honest, man, because I've been turned off by Mike McCarthy ever since he said in that San Francisco game, that playoff game, the first one, he said, "Yeah, I seen in the guys' eyes, they wasn't prepared, they wasn't ready for this game." Right. And I'm saying, "Hell, like, you're the head coach. What the hell you mean? That's the only reason you here. Yeah. You supposed to kick over some Gatorade, flip over a table or some shit. Like, yo, y'all gotta get into this." But your guys not ready? Are you serious?
Are you serious?
And ever since then, I always had something with Mike McCarthy, like, against him, because I'm like, I've never heard a winning head coach say no shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's almost like you gave up the game before the shit even started. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it seemed like it's been going on and on since that playoff game. Because it's like I'm seeing the same damn team. And it's like, Jerry Jones, man, he's a little senile now to me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to cut off the cancer, man. And Mike McCarthy's a part of the cancer, man. It's like, you're not going to fire yourself. You got to fire Mike McCarthy. And you got to fire everybody else, man. You know what I mean? We got to quit trying to hold on to players and coaches that don't help this team win. And right. It's like the Joneses are at the top of the hill because everything trickles down from them and the decisions that they're making, trying to act like they're smarter than the rest of the league when it comes to winning games and winning Super Bowls, winning playoff games and winning Super Bowl games. Because can't nobody sit here and tell me the way that the Kansas City Chiefs are winning games this year is like they winning games and they only got to blow people out. They're like, oh, we wait till the last minute to hit you with a couple daggers and you up out of here. You know what I mean? But you see that team fight throughout the whole game, do whatever happens on the field. Our team, we do dumb shit. We're not disciplined. You know what I mean? This is not a disciplined team. And we cannot expect to go nowhere with an undisciplined team. I just don't see it. I'm glad that you guys are saying that Michael Parsons is showing some grit. By he's upset, he's mad, he emotional, he ain't all smiles no more, he taking this shit serious. I get it. I'm with it all day. But yo, man, it's only so much we can do with the.
Yep, there's only so much you can do with it, man.
There's only so much we can do with this coach and the injuries. Yeah, we have injuries, but any other team have injuries too. But it's like every other team has injuries too. But it's like our team are not acquiring winning talent. we expect to build through the draft, and that's it. We're not spending the money in free agency.
No doubt,
You know
man.
what I mean? Like
You're right on the money, Rick, man. So yeah, hopefully, man, all we can do is lean on the hope aspect of it, that this team go out there and find a grit, nasty, upstanding, good coach that can convey the thoughts of like winning leadership culture to these players, and hopefully we can get some good guys in this draft and get things going, bro. Appreciate you for calling in, fam.
Yeah, no doubt, Law. Peace.
No doubt. Good call from a man. All right.
The conference has been locked.
I got the 863. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, bro.
We had a player that had asthma in 1992, and he was cut from the team because he couldn't finish the drills. I don't care what now one of y'all say. If anybody is trying to have a positive word about number 27, I saw somebody put on social media with his towel over his head, talking about, man, keep your head up, bro. It happens. Head no, cut that bastard right now. I don't give a darn what anybody say. All that preaching in church we had today, early on the other live, man, I want to backslide so bad and go drink me some alcohol.
Come on with it, man. Hey, the first miracle was turning water into wine. You know what I'm saying?
No, this ain't wine I'm talking about, bro. I want some more. I need to give me a Coke. I'll give me a Coke 45.
Coke 45, man. That wine put you down. Yeah, that wine put you down, though, man. Come on with it.
Like I told y'all before, look, give the team a chance. Now, we came out in the second half, scored a touchdown, man. It was Brandon Cooks. It was wonderful to see that. It's like the defense came out and they dominated the fourth quarter. They gave us every chance to go ahead. I don't know if the man arm went out, but the average 5.6 yards per carry. And you got a running back that I really wasn't feeling. But these last two games, he is stealing my emotions. Rico was doing his daggone thing, but the offensive line is blocking a whole lot better than they were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Law, 7.3 yards a carry.
That's crazy good number stuff, man.
Law, that's college. That is college.
Yeah.
That is college.
That's Genty numbers.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, I mean, as long as you got a offensive line that'll block, we don't need to go draft a Genty. Let this dude do what he did. It reminds me, I mean, just keeping it real. I mean, I'm not in the hopes of anything like somebody, that's just coming out of college that young and just go, he's going to change the name. Yeah, he can, but if you got a dude that's doing this now, he's showing you that I can get a $131 if the line just blocked for me. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I saw this dude. He was going through that. He was running. But he didn't score a touchdown either. You know what I'm saying? I wish they would have gave him an opportunity to do that. It could have changed the scope of the game. But, dude, I don't care, bro. Football is football. You're going to win some drives. You're going to lose some drives.
Right.
But when you get a 4th and 26, Law, I was ready to make love tonight. I was. I put the blue chews back in the drawer. After that, I told him to go home, and I said, you know what? I don't even feel it right now. I even took my Law, 4th and 26, a block kick. And you decide, hey, my parents is going to be proud of me tonight. Hey, I'm going to get on ESPN tonight. Hey, I'm going to be on Fox Sports tonight. Maybe Law might have me on this platform. I can tell him that I did a good job. This bastard touched the ball. He touched the ball, man. He touched the ball. No Diddy. First time I ever used that. He touched the ball.
No hover.
And we lose with but yet and still, we had 7.3, and McCarthy decides you did a good job. That's enough. Now let Cooper Rush take us to the promised land.
Man.
Incomplete. Man, you throwing to Jake Ferguson and he's draped. What did you think that he was going to get a first down like that?
Man.
Like, what are you thinking? You had Brandon Cooks that is coming alive. You don't go back to him. I understand CeeDee Lamb was hurt and all like that, but it's like he was starting to wake up a little bit. And I know that shoulder's hurting and all like that, but I think he should have wore that brace and kind of give him some kind of, alleviate the pain. But, Law, I just don't get it. Law, it's almost like the Twilight Zone. I was sitting here. Look, you know what I do. I do security at a homeless shelter. And I told I told two homeless guys that was watching the game with me, I told them to go home out of spite. I told them to go home out of spite.
Man.
And I just and then, they were Cincinnati Bengals fans. I'm like, out of all people to sit beside me to watch this game, you know what I'm saying? It got to be y'all. I just told them to go home out of spite.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But, Law, I don't get it. Like, what? We can't blame Jerry Jones for this. We can't put this on Jerry Jones, although I would love to. Can't put this on Jerry Jones. The Cowboys went out there and played a game where they had a chance to win. I wanted to make the playoffs. They played like I don't get it. Mike McCarthy, Cooper Rush, number 27, whoever the heck he is, I'm not happy, man. I'm not happy.
I feel you, bro, man. Hey, all I can say, man, still call her back up, man. She probably still call her up. You said you better take the blue chew and everything, man. Go ahead.
I was like, no, I'm upset. I'm soft and it really look like a newborn baby right now. I don't want nobody touching me. I'm not happy. I can't perform when I'm upset like this.
Man, you better call her up, man. Don't
I don't want to touch nobody. Law.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you feel me, dog? Like, Law. Do you feel me, brother? You saw the game, man. You saw the game, bro. You saw the game, dude. Why did he have to touch the ball, man? I really wanted this win tonight, bro.
Man. Cowboy in the chat said he'll give her a call.
Man, go give a call, man.
Look, man.
That's fine.
Man, Cowboy plays so terrible, man. They mixing up sexual relations now, man. Damn, dog.
But on the serious tip, a message got to be sent, Law.
Oh, my God. Dude. Appreciate you, man, so much calling in, man. That's my guy, Scott. Yeah, unmute it, man. Plug your channel, man. Let people know where they can find and follow you, man.
Man, Law, I ain't gonna front with you, man. We done told these people about this channel 4 times. Ain't now one of them came over there and subscribed, man. I'm still sitting at almost $3,000. They ain't coming over there.
Man.
No matter how good it is. Man, I ain't saying. I'm pissed off right now. F that goddamn channel. I'm already running times. I'm good.
All right, bro. Appreciate you for calling in. Unmute it. Unmute it. Check him out. Oh, my gosh, man. All right, so we got the 214, then we got Coach Marv. So from the 214, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, yeah, so I just wanted to say I came into the season recognizing that this was not going to be our year, regardless of what Jerry was saying.
Yeah.
I felt like last year was really the final year of championship contention in the Mike McCarthy era. And it felt like the team was kind of going all in on that year. You had Dan Quinn coming back, and we knew that was going to be his final year. You had trades for, people tend to forget this a lot, but you had trades for Gilmore and Brandon Cooks earlier that all season. And then it was also the final year before a lot of our best players were due for contract extension. So to me, it felt, we knew that Dak was going to get paid. We knew that Lamb and potentially Parsons were also going to get paid. So we have these guys who are due for significant contracts. And when that happens, obviously you're going to be a lot more restricted in terms of who you bring in and things of that nature.
Right.
So it felt to me like that was going to be, and we had like a lot of guys who were on the final year of their contract terms. We knew that when Dan Quinn eventually left, and we knew that that was going to be his final year because he had been in the coaching cycle for like the previous 2 years or whatever, that he was going to take a vast majority of his staff with him. That's a lot of turnover that you have to deal with, especially when you consider that our defensive players have been under the Dan Quinn system for about 3 years. You bring in another guy, even a guy as great as Mike is, you don't necessarily, like, it can take quite a while to adapt to new systems, right? So I felt coming in that this was not going to be our year. And so I don't think that I am as angry or upset as a lot of Cowboys fans are, because none of this is necessarily, like, I didn't expect, even though Mike McCarthy is still here, we all know that the Jones do not fire people mid contract. I didn't expect for the front office to continue to invest. Like, you have a lot of people like, well, why didn't you bring in so and so? Why didn't you bring in? I didn't want for the front office to continue to invest in Mike McCarthy.
Right.
When it was clear after that playoff loss that he was not going to be the guy. But anyway, so I say that to say, I am just in. I am not as angry and upset, and I can understand there's a lot of residual frustration that's been built up, but there are a lot of teams around the league that have not only never won a Super Bowl, but have also been in very similar droughts, like the 49ers, for example. They have one of the more talented rosters in the league, and they have an offensive guru, and they have not been able to get over the final hump. You have the Dolphins, who also have an extremely talented roster. They hired the young hotshot offensive coordinator, and you literally have people calling for McDaniel's head right now. You have fans like all on social media every single week calling for his head, calling for the GM head. It has not necessarily been an ideal situation for them down there in Dolphin Lane. You have the Bengals, who also have a very talented roster, and they have one of the best QBs, arguably one of the best QBs in the league, right?
Right.
So it happens. The Cowboys are in a transitional period. That happens for every single good team. You're going to have those occasional down years. There are going to be those periods where you have to kind of you basically have to like replenish your team in a way, right? We brought in a lot of rookies. Mm-hmm. We're on the final year of the Mike McCarthy deal. And those rookies are going to need, we experience turnover, of course, on our offensive line. And those rookies are going to need a season or two to obviously adjust to the league. We're going to need maybe another draft class or two, in my personal opinion, before we're really in a position to where we can be competitive for a championship again. And I just say that because we know that Micah Parsons is going to get paid probably this offseason. So we're going to have like about 4 players or so, with Dak Lamb, of course Parsons, and then also you have who else is that? Diggs. About 4 players that are going to account for a vast majority of our cap. So, but anyway, so you're going to have to kind of balance it out with cheap draft talent, and that means that the Cowboys are going to have to hit on the draft. That means that those draft picks are also, as I mentioned beforehand, going to need some time to adjust to the league. This is a transitional period. Every team has to go through a transitional period. It is what it is. I felt like we gave it the old hoo-ha last season, and it simply didn't work out, just like it doesn't work out for a vast majority of teams who go all in. If you look across sports, whether or not that's football, that's basketball, that's baseball, there are teams who go all in every single year who have extremely talented rosters, and it simply doesn't work out. It fails for whatever reason. So that's my thought on that.
Okay.
As far as the Jerry Jones thing, just one more thing. I know you're probably ready for me to get off this line, but as far as the whole like Jerry Jones thing, I can definitely understand frustrations with the front office, but I'm not. Mike McCarthy has been here for 5 years. This is his 5th season. You're not going to convince me that this man has absolutely no influence on the team whatsoever. When, like I said, this is his fifth season. He was also very publicly throwing Kellen Moore under the bus. Kellen Moore got fired not because it was. I don't feel like it was a comfortability thing. I think the Jones liked him, but Mike McCarthy wanted for Kellen Moore to go. Mike McCarthy wanted to install his offense. He got his wish. This is Mike McCarthy's team. This is his offense. He has his assistants installed throughout the offense and the O-line. He promoted his guy from the analyst or consultant position that he was in to OC. So he got someone in to specifically help design his play calls, his scheme, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think that Jerry Jones is telling Mike McCarthy to go away from Rico Dowdle in the middle of the game, right? I don't think that that Jerry Jones is out there calling whatever Mike McCarthy is doing, like with the horrible play calling, the horrible schemes, the scheme designs, the route trees, the inefficiencies in the red zone, which we also had issues with at the start of last season, the first half of last season as well. I mean, there are just some things out of that are not in the general manager's hands, in my personal opinion. And I do wish, because I think that people, in my personal opinion, I think that people have such a dislike for Jerry Jones that that personal bias seeps into a lot of their analysis, to the point where there's like literally no objectivity whatsoever. Like, Jerry Jones is to blame for everything. He has influence everywhere, but we can't give him credit for the personnel department whatsoever, right? We do best scouting and development teams in the league, but we can't give Jerry Jones any credit for that. That's all Will McClay. So it's just like those types of, I don't know. I'm not a fan of like necessarily some of the discourse, and I think maybe I have a different perspective because I stepped outside of football. Like, I'm also a Mavericks fan. The Mavericks were poorly managed. That team was poorly ran for several years. I watch other sports outside of football, so I think I have like maybe a more nuanced perspective in some respects, because I've had experiences with teams that are actually extremely poorly managed and what that looks like. By comparison.
No doubt.
But anyway, all right. I know you're ready for me to get off the line.
No. You did a good job. You did a good job on everything, and appreciate you and your thoughts and everything about that. And the scouting situation. What I really picked up is that every team got to go through this. And right now, sheesh, it's a brutal part of just doing the transitioning part. But you have a good one, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that the Cowboys are not good. We haven't had a prime draft pick since like 2016 when we got Ezekiel Elliott. We haven't had a top 5, top 10 draft pick for a very, very long period of time. And so if the Cowboys happen to get a top 5 to top 10 draft pick this year, and we can bring in some cheap young talent, premium talent, I think long term, more so than us being sorry as hell this year, that's probably best for the organization as a whole. As I mentioned beforehand, we have some pretty big contracts, and we need to be able to balance out those contracts with some cheap draft talent. So it is what it is.
No doubt. You have a good one. Appreciate you. That's a good call from a man, Yeah. She was on it, bro. She was on it. She sounds really good, man, with the transition and everything. I got 3 callers left. I got 3 callers, boy. Let's go. Let's go with how we gonna do this? How we gonna do it? Oh. I was gonna press it. I was going through all of my anxieties not to press it. But y'all in the chat, y'all something serious, man. Oh my gosh, man, I love y'all. Oh my God, I love y'all, man. For the 803 Coach Marv, you're live on the nation, man. Come on with it.
Y'all are crazy in that chat. They're really crazy in that chat.
Yeah.
Well, man. You know my feelings on McCarthy. This ain't just started this year. My feelings has been on this for a while. And it's crazy, man. Rico ran the ball very well.
Yeah.
A guy that's getting 7 yards of carry still can't get 20 carries in a game.
Come on, man.
I still understand it. A guy would get 7 yards of carry would at least have 25 to 27 carries in this game, with no doubt about it. And I probably could have softened up the defense where Zeke would have got 10 carries. And everybody would have been ready to run the football because, and you know something? This was two bad teams trying to give the other team the game.
Facts.
The Bengals, the penalties, they got a running back averaging 10 yards a carry, and they don't give him the football. He's getting 10 yards a carry. Every time Brown got the ball, he was getting 9, 10 yards, and they would let him run the football. We got Rico getting 7 yards carry, and we want to throw the football. This is what bad teams do, man. Bad teams find ways to lose games, and good teams find ways to win games. Kansas City finds ways to win games. Bad teams find ways to lose games. My grandfather told me this a long time ago. A person with money finds ways to make money. A person that's broke always finds ways to spend it.
Ooh, that's deep.
So that's how it is. And we have become, I don't care what we talk about, we have what we call bad habits. Bad habits got them their first touchdown. I'm not saying the defense played bad, but when we get too many men on the field, and then they got a ground to play at the same time, that's where they're supposed to be off the field. They gave them one more possession, they get a couple of plays, and then next day they got a touchdown. That's what bad teams do. They do stuff that cause more possessions. We come down, we make a turnover in the red zone. After the running back had got 7 yards previous play, then we come back, try to throw the ball, and then Cooper Rush throws an interception. Bad teams with bad. I have told everybody, the greatest coach, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, on the art of coaching, they both said good players cannot take bad coaching.
Facts.
You can bring all the talent you want in here. If you give them bad coaching, they're gonna become mediocre, or you're gonna put them in bad situations.
Coach Marv, let me ask you this though, Coach. When people consistently say that Mike McCarthy is a good coach, and you played the game, you coached the game, Coach, and there are some things that like guidelines or bylaws that you just don't do, how come that good coach just don't do those small things to be considered, from our opinion, you know what I'm saying, who's not in the National Football League, to quantify him as that, you know?
And you know something else? You know something, Law? Let me tell you something else, Law. I'm going to put it like this. We said Mike McCarthy is a good coach. We said Andy Reid is a good coach.
Right.
But Andy Reid hired the best assistants. The assistants he got are great coaches. Mike McCarthy trying to be a good coach with guys that's assistant coaches that ain't good enough. Your running back coach ain't never coached running backs before in your life, and you got him as your run game coordinator, and you wonder why your run game is so bad. Your offensive line coach, he's 95 years old. You have linebacker coach in there who's still here that don't know nothing about linebacker. So you can't tell me around the coaching staff when you got guys that are not. You got a receiver coach that can't develop number one good receiver, and that's a guy that's there's an all
already good. Yeah,
you can't develop.
Yeah. Man, you said a mouthful there. Yeah. Oh snap. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. He gets the chance to hire these coaches. Listen here. Jerry Jones ain't told him to hire Scott McCurley. That's Mike McCarthy.
Yep. And Tolzien ain't doing nothing out there as the quarterback coach. And he used to play under Mike McCarthy. And y'all know who Tolzien is. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are the guys that you got. Listen, you could be a great CEO, but you can have bad managers and you can look like a bus. You're only good is the people that's working under you.
Man.
And you got to be a leader of men. This is where I'm trying to tell you. And if I said this, and one thing Jerry has done different from the 90s that he hadn't done, and people want to hear about the 90s because the blueprint is still there. They make the same team. But the only thing he hadn't done, and the only thing he had stood on 10 toes down on, he felt that he could bring talent in and he could get 100 guys that could get him to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
That's what he said when Jimmy left. Yeah. And he has been trying to do that since then. But he doesn't know that coaching and the staff goes along with the talent. Sometimes it brings it along. Listen here. We talking about talent. I'm watching the game in Kansas City and the Chargers last night. They got 5th-round draft picks in the secondary, guys that are rookie on both teams, and nobody talking about their talent because they don't run away from coaching. They get guys and they bring them up to a level to get them be productive. We got to have 1st-round picks to say, "Oh man, what was going on?" Then we say about him bringing McCarthy back. Think about this, people. If he was so enamored with McCarthy, and McCarthy was on the last year of his contract, and he just won 12 games in the season, 3 years in a row, why in the hell he gonna bring it back to the extension? Now he ain't gonna win them 7 games.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. Oh my gosh. Oh man. It don't make sense, but it makes sense what you saying. Yeah.
It's just to entertain that.
Yeah.
And this is what I talk about Dak. You're right about Dak. Listen here, man. I love Dak. Yeah. But Dak don't know how to win. He has never had a coach that could show him how to win. And sometimes, that coach is going to make it a little bit uncomfortable. See, listen here. Yeah. Belichick didn't make it comfortable for Brady.
Come on, man. You preaching today, boy, or tonight. Come on with it. Come on, coach.
Brady.
Woo!
But he raised Brady to another level by being uncomfortable, and then he went on to now Brady could talk all the trash he wanted, but he respect that Bill brought him to that level because he made him uncomfortable. It's not always got to be comfortable. They like McCarthy because they like him. They like him. Let
me tell you who's out on that, and he be trying. And I talked to Kevin Smith. I was like, man, why? He says, when Troy Aikman walks into a room, we cease the conversation. We know that he's the leader. When Dak Prescott walks into the room, they continue the conversation. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is not a leader, but he's not the person that everybody's willing to run through the wall with. And I think that the only thing is the difference between Dak and what you were saying earlier is that he never had stern coaching outside of Dan Mullen. Outside of Dan Mullen when he was at Mississippi State. Dak Prescott, I like him, but he never had that stern coach like what you bringing up with Bill Belichick.
You know something about Troy? See, people forget. When Troy was there, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy was hard on Troy. He brought other guys in. He got Troy to the leadership role when Troy started to walk in that room when everybody respected. But Jimmy brought him up to that level because he made it uncomfortable at the beginning. We remember when Troy Aikman got hurt in the playoff game and he came back on concussion and Jimmy started the backup quarterback in the playoff game.
Is it Berline?
That's right.
Yeah,
so listen, he brought him to that level, and then when he got to that level, then when Jimmy left, he had to go to a more of a leader, and he said, man, that's too much. The players are for one thing, but the coach is the guy that sets the tone. This team has been a sloppy football team for the last 3-4 years.
Oh, yeah.
And this team, sloppiness. I know everybody wants free agents. I know everybody talking. But I guarantee you could bring this team, other teams ain't doing it by free agents. Detroit done lost 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and a couple defensive backs on their defense, and a great defensive end, but they still win the games. See, they don't cry about what name because he has put a culture in of the next people that come in here. There's a one way that we do things. We do it physical, with discipline, and we play for each other. This team lives off excuses. And listen, and I think Michael Parsons played a great game today. But he can't be tired in the fourth quarter. Because, see, this is what I've been saying about this team, this Cowboy team. For one, they ain't in no shape because you can see the fatigue on them. And that's a coaching thing because everybody likes this. In week 13, 14, you come out there and run 7 plays in the second half and then you're tired. I don't care how hard you're going. You should be able to go longer than that in week 13 of a season. So this is what I'm saying, and I'm not getting on my, but I'm talking about overall.
Overall,
this is where overall, this is the where we are at in this team, and this team is soft. This team is not mentally tough, and this is what I said. Jerry needs to bring, and I would say this, and I'm gonna say this, Law, and this should be the campaign for all the Cowboy Nation. If we want to say that you're the $10 billion company, then we want you to pay whoever you want to bring in here. If Johnson say he want to come in here and he say he wants $16 million and he want to hire the richest coaching staff that he can have, show us where the money at, Jerry.
Show us,
and
man.
Get somebody in here, because the main job of a GM is not getting players. The main job of the GM is hiring the head coach and a coaching staff.
Man,
because GMs get fired for coaching staff. They don't get fired for talent. GMs get fired every day, and they have the talented players still be there. They fire them because the head coach ain't no good. They fire the head coach and they fire the GM. So if you can't get the head coach in here, that's why you get fired. So when you tell us about how many Pro Bowlers you got and how many people that made Pro Bowlers or you done drafted, well, how many great coaches have you gotten here? Because that's your main job, Jerry, and that has no salary cap. And I want to say this last thing, and I think we should give him a shout out for this one, because I know he'll be hurt next week. But Chuma Dota played a hell of a game against one of the best defensive ends in the NFL today and dominated it. And he only got his last sack to break the record with less than 30 seconds in the game. But Chuma Dota dominated that guy all game alone. Watched it the whole time, run game, pass game, dominated the guy. The only problem with Chuma Dota, he's going to be hurt next week with a toe injury or a finger injury or something. He'll be gone. He won't play 3 games in a week because he'll be hurt.
No doubt, man. Coach Mar, man, with the fire, man.
Give him a shout out. But, hey, man, we just need a leader of men, but leader of men promote, they don't promote fear. And that's where, and I sent you I sent you on the text line a speech that, because y'all was talking about on the show, one show y'all was talking about getting guys to the next level. And I said, then I ran across this Mike Tomlin speech when he was talking. And you look on the text line.
Oh, yeah. I played it. I played that
one. It was the perfect thing about this is what coaches supposed to do, to get you to go to the next level and for you to get to that next level. And if we can't get you to the next level, we're not doing our job. And our best players have not gotten better, and that's coaching. It's not about the other talent. Our best players are not Pro Bowlers and all world players this year, and that's on that coaching staff. And they know that. Zimmer know that. Everybody else know that. But Mike McCarthy, it's time for another thing. But Jerry, show us the money in the coaching staff. Everybody else paying $10, $15 million for coaches. Why we got to pay $9 million, $10 million for our whole coaching staff?
Yeah.
Do we even understand this?
They don't understand that. For the whole staff, man. Oh, my gosh, man. Boy, you killed it, Coach Ma. Appreciate you, man, from the 803, man.
Salute, man.
Salute. Yes, indeed. And he East Coast time, so that boy, he was on it, man. And I ain't gonna go back and forth with him with Chuma Edoga because I know that he's talking from a coaching perspective of 60 plays, you know what I'm saying, versus the 1 or 2 plays that Chuma looked like Chewy Edoga, but he did play up to those 60 times out of the few better than what we thought he would have, to be fair. All right, so let's listen to this right quick.
You know, I think there's a misconception about football. People think that football is for tough guys.
Tough guys.
You know, tough guys. Well, football rewards the guys that are in great condition. That's when you have fun. When you're kicking somebody's ass and they're sucking for win. There was a great coach one time says, fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Come on with it.
What if I walked up to you and said, you're a coward? You're a coward. You wouldn't like it, would you? But that's the reality of it. When you're tired, you make mistakes, You don't do what's right, and your will to win all of a sudden starts to waver just a little bit. You get tired, and all of a sudden you don't have that same fight. Fatigue makes cowards of us all of us, me included. I guarantee you, when I was on that damn TV show and I hadn't had any sleep and I hadn't had any food and bugs are biting on my ass, I wasn't a big tough guy. I'm saying, what the hell am I doing here? Fatigue makes cowards of us all. If you're in great shape, if you can run like a deer, at the end of the ball game, you're going to be smiling and having fun. And let me tell you something, guys.
Come on with it.
This is going to be the greatest time in your life. I used to sit in this same-ass room. I'd look at the schedule, and I said, God, oh, I can't wait till Oklahoma comes in here. I can't wait till Florida comes in here. I want to kick their ass.
Kick their ass.
And that's what you should feel.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We don't have that passion over here. 725, you're live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Law Nation? How you doing
What's
tonight?
good, bro? All is well. All is well. What you got for
what's
me?
up, man? I just want to say, Coach Mob was right. This is crazy, man. I just want to say this though. I think Michael Parsons is I think he's gonna end up leaving the team. I think that's what's gonna end up happening. I think he's gonna end up going to the Commanders because he was frustrated the way he left the field and where we could have won that game. We could have won that game.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna lose a lot of good players, man. But anyway, let me just say this. Number 27. We could have won this game. All he had to do is not touch the ball. But if he did have to touch the ball, all he had to do was fall on the ball.
Yep.
And we would have got the ball.
Out of bounds.
We would have got the ball back.
Yeah.
Right. We could have got the ball back and scored and won the game. That's all he had to do, man. And if I was in high school, playing high school football, and I'm on the defense, any high school player would know to fall on the ball if you got a lot of men around you.
You already
my
know.
head coach in high school used to get on my butt because I was on defense. I played on defense. I played on defense, and I made a little mistakes. But when I made my mistakes, I fixed my mistakes.
Yeah.
Because I had done it before, trying to pick up the ball and trying to run with it. Sometimes if you try to pick up the ball and try to run with the ball, it could slip out your hand. Anything can happen just by being a lot of guys around you.
Yep.
So my coach always told me when the ball is coming at you, to fall on the ball.
Fall on it. We even got drills on it. And then, the craziest thing, though, fam, is that this is not the one-off that we seen this. We seen it multiple times this year. We seen offensive linemen trying to scoop and score. We seen Tyler Guyton try to scoop it and score it. You know what I'm saying? So the hero ball is crazy. You got to think of team. You got to think of all of the hard work and dedication that got you there, and you can't just try to just be selfish to that degree. And I get it. 27, he's pressing. He got kicked off the practice squad, got back on the practice squad, coming off of an injury and these sorts of things, and getting back to the 53-man roster. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that these guys got livelihoods. You got coaching in matters. You got a whole bunch of stuff. Just do the fundamentals, man. Land on the ball.
Right.
And this goes all the way back to that point. When we had 5 minutes left on the clock, we were talking about good coaches versus great coaches and coaches in general. You got your running back that's averaging 7.5 yards per tote, bro.
Right.
And there's 5 minutes left on the clock, and you go pass.
I think
Yeah, that's terrible. That's just terrible, bro. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Just in the nature of football, the football guys didn't even honor what you was doing by throwing the ball. They said we can't even intervene because he is not doing the things that sane football coaches do. So I can't reward him to those particular degrees. And that's why, we deserve to lose in that particular fashion because we didn't do the things that's necessary.
Right, exactly. And I think that number 27 guy, he needs to be fired tonight.
To set the example. Home. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired tonight. And I know our season was done, but just put and the quarterback, Cooper Rush.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did all right if that guy would have had Phil on the ball. So I'm not blaming Cooper Rush.
Yeah, the Cooper Rush did what his max limitations are. So for anyone to say, hey, we taking a dump on Rush or say that he's trash, no, he did the max capabilities of what he can do. Just like you're not asking Brad Johnson to shoot you Hail Marys, Trent Difford to shoot you Hail Marys, right? You asking him to manage the game while the defense keep things afloat. And I'm only using them as an example because those are teams that won big games based off of managing games and playing sound defense or putting the ball in the belly of the running backs, But we didn't do none of those things. Yeah.
Right. I'm asking one more question.
Go ahead.
The drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still think that we got a chance to get Sanders? If I know we probably won 2 games or something like that. Do you think we still got a chance to try to grab him and try to grab Deion Sanders if we could?
I think that Jerry Jones is not built for that type of entertainment to try to do those type of things. I get it, you paying $250 million to Dak Prescott right now. You don't have by far a foreseeable backup quarterback, so I can see that the Cowboys may still go into this draft and drafting a quarterback. But you got to think the Dallas Cowboys always look as if though they are the smartest person in the room. So they're going to look at it like, well, shoot, we can get the Ewers kid in the later rounds. You know what I'm saying? Or they probably look at it like they have some other quarterback that they think that can propel and push them over the top because you got to understand when DiNucci was drafted here, they was bringing up the fact that he could be the next Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Because of his throwing mechanics and the way he looked out there. And that's just how this particular situation is with the Cowboys. They're always going to say that they are the smartest people in the room. So they're not finna do none of that. They're going to either, in my opinion, they're going to draft an offensive lineman in this first round draft pick or a running back. Maybe a wide receiver.
Yeah, I know we're gonna need a running back, but if we do get a running back, we got to make sure we get the best running back in the drafts because our running game is not looking good.
Hey, just be careful, man. They may think that Rico is the best one. You know what I'm saying? He said we got our running back already. We didn't have to draft one.
Rico, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
but he could still be a number 2 back.
Right.
We need to bring him back because that's gonna break holes like Zeke used to be when he was a rookie.
Yeah, but we'll find out, man. I appreciate you for calling in, Chief. Thank you so much, bro, for your time.
No problem, Law.
No doubt, man. Take care, bro. Good call from just like anything, in the words of Mike McCarthy.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Shoot. Yeah, I'm looking for that train. Who was that on CJ? He said, damn it, CJ, all you had to do was that smoke. Let me see. CJ Smoke. Let me see. Yeah. Oh my God. Let me see.
Smoke weed. All we had to do was follow the damn train,
yeah.
CJ.
That's all we had to do, man.
Hey, baby, you okay, man? All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Let me see.
All we had to do was CJ. Oh, CJ. Shit. CJ. Oh, you picked the wrong house, fool.
That damn smoke man on that. They cut it out. He supposed to say, "Damn it, CJ! All you had to do," and that's all you had to do was just not touch the ball. Warrior.
Smoke weed. All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
That mission was so hard, man. Like in the chat, if y'all can tell me the truth, in the chat, tell me the truth. Which one of y'all got that mission? Which one of y'all? Jamie said he got to be at work in 3 hours. Hey, in the chat, y'all tell me the truth. Which one of y'all finished that mission on the first try? Just tell me the truth. Which one of y'all?
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Yes, which one of y'all did it on the first try, man? Finished it on the first try.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ. All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
All right, for the 206, man, you're live on the mix, man. Talk to me, man.
What up, Law? How you doing?
Yeah, man, all is well, bro. You the last but not least caller, man. Talk to me, man. What you got?
Everybody talk. They all make a good point. But Coach said the right thing. And I've been saying that. You're not going to win with that coaching. I don't care who y'all have. You got Chutal Jones, Randy White, Drew Pearson. You're not going to win with this guy. I'm telling y'all. He cannot coach, man.
Yeah.
If you bring him back again, if I was a fan, I would not go to the game. The fans got to start getting a heartbeat and say, don't even show up. I'll keep that mug standing. And you got to hit Jerry in his pockets, man. Because he be playing people like they fools. And the dude said, you bring McCarthy back, he is doing it because he's a bum. And they said another thing. McCarthy called the plays, man. Jerry Jones don't call no plays, man. Because you see, it's the same old thing.
Every other city we go. Come on, yeah.
Remember, I told you earlier in the year, y'all was saying, well, Rico can't run. Rico was average 5-point carry with 40 yards. And he run 8 times or 7 times for 40 yards and don't even see the ball no more. And then McCarthy will throw 50 times, throwing 50 times with Dak, 40 times. The same play up the middle with some of the biggest defensive tackles, instead of running them outside, to stretch them left, stretch them right, make them big boys get tired, then you hit them up the middle. He didn't do that earlier in the season. Now, and look what he did tonight. That kid could have ran for 200 yards tonight. But McCarthy just wanted to throw the ball with Noodle on. And that was it. That was his fault. Because that was the play that all the players went for CeeDee Lamb, and Ferguson would have been wide open. But you know what happened? It was going to get called back anyway because somebody was offside on the Cowboys. You know that? Right. When he threw that interception? Yeah. Who would have scored? It's all offside. And that's why Cincinnati declined and kept the interception. We got a bad coaching staff, bro. We are not going to win with Mike McCarthy. I hate to tell y'all.
Undisciplined team, man. I feel you, man. Appreciate you for calling in, MJ. Thank you so much, man. Let me hear you say
it. You too, man. Hey, how about them Cowboys? I'm a long life Cowboy fan. And, and one more thing. 100 grand, he moved the guy. But I don't agree with 100 grand because when Dak Prescott was playing, he was playing sorry too. So McCarthy have both quarterbacks playing goofy, dumb, and sorry. So it doesn't matter. If we had Dan Marino, McCarthy will have us playing goofy and dumb.
No doubt,
That's my
man.
last word.
Appreciate you, bro. Good call from you, man. That's my guy, MJ. All right, so in closing, appreciate everybody, man. We're going to continue to fight. In the other words, I appreciate all of those who donated. Another loss. 8 losses so far. I'm stretching on out. We gonna get on up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I stayed true to my word. We got everybody in and out. Appreciate y'all. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let friends, neighbors know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. My guy Ben, they were like, "Hey dog, where you at, man?" My bad, Ben, dog. I couldn't meet up with you tonight, man. I'm sitting here in this room. But next year, maybe next year we can do something, man, far as being live at one of the locations. Shout out to you, Luis, Ortiz, Clement, Vincent, Alchemy, Kick-Ass Media 214. Let's go. It says 3 straight 12-5, and that's not goofy, Unc. Yeah. I got one better for you. Shout out to your TC on the drums for your support. I got one better than 3 straight years of 12-5. What if I told you guys there was once a coach that won back-to-back Super Bowls here in Dallas, for him to never be seen again coaching here in Dallas, and the fans were not appreciative or happy about the situation of him not returning? You say a person that got their mind made up, they are never at fault. They walk out and say, "These are the things I have done. Look at me. Look at my peasants." Some people have big egos. It's what I call edging God out. They believe, like the Nebuchadnezzar, standing over the providence and say, "These are things that I have done. No creator has helped me. No grace and mercy has formed me, but this is me. And y'all are my subjects." Pride comes before the fall. And the Cowboys got a very prideful nature. They got a very owner that believes that, hey, he don't do no wrong. And then people will still fight for him. People will still buy from him. People will still support him. People will still roll with him. People will say, hey, it's not his fault. But when you peel back the layers, you will see what Coach Marv is saying. The teams that's winning, they are spending money on their staff. And yes, just because you assembled a team doesn't mean that the team is going to be assembled right and properly if they're not getting fed the right and proper nutrients. Yeah. You see, a lot of times people feel as if though because of their past success would equals their future success. But that's not the case nor the scenario. The realizations of everything is that every day you must recreate yourself. You must do a self-inventory of yourself. You must figure out ways to elevate yourself from one edge to the next edge, and that is temperaments of your mind, soul, and sinew. That is also the thought tracks that you will say to yourself that I'm not satisfied. Success is very subjective. In the eyes of Jerry Jones, who built a $4.5 billion stadium in Arlington, a $3.5 billion workout facility in Frisco, who got a helicopter, a helipad, as well as a yacht and a gold jacket to match. He feels as if though those 3 Super Bowls were based off of what he was able to do and turn $140 million into over $11 billion with a B. But verily, verily, I say to you all, the moment you open up your natural eyes and realize that these things came upon other situations, meaning that you had a coach that was able to lay the foundation. You had a coach that was able to provide sternness and stiffness to this organization by the name of Jimmy Johnson. And we are still chasing those ghosts to this day. We are still chasing those ghosts to this day. But neither here nor there. We have no choice but to stand in the gap and be here. We have no choice but to stand tall or not at all. Us getting mad right now is the equivalency of us wanting it to be cold in Texas and for Alaska to be hot. The really expectations of the Cowboys are who they are right now. The one accident waiting to happen. Gerard, you says we all in for 2025. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat forward, fret forward a plan to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold or the poverty or the famish or fame or the sickness of body or brain can turn you all away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset, with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it.
Give me my theme music.
I just wanna run it up. Can we check this out? I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rich, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check this out. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
What more do you want?
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
You must be out your goddamn
deals, I make the deal, I can take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check us on. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count that. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clones. Yeah. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. I've been really in the field. Let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah.
So it look like I'm be round.
Kinda check us on. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
But if you need some advice,
count that
feel free to talk.
Pray for rain. I just wanna run it up.
Did the Cowboys win tonight?
Lately, I I just wanna run it up. Lately, I just wanna run. FBI, open up!
Execute Order 66.
It's an evil world we live in.
Ain't nobody
Darkness is your ally.
paging me, asking me, are you still bored? Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still
I've got balls of steel.
Listen. I'm still in bored.
What is your counter? What is your damn count?
Them boys, I'm still boys.
She belongs to the streets.
I'm still.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Boys.
Nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Emotional damage.
Suck.
I'm still them boys.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Now y'all want to check on the pastor. I'm still them boys. Yeah, I'm still them boys.
You could not live with your own failure.
Suck.
That boy sucked.
You liar!
Oh, brother, this guy